for the playing of Jamaica's national anthem. Seated. We will now ask the chair of the Project Oversight Committee, Judith Rob Walters, to lead us into prayer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Almighty Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this day. This is a day that you have made. We are rejoicing and be glad in it. As we gather here in your presence, we give you thanks for this occasion and for the families that will be benefit of this program. We pray, Almighty God, for your continued guidance and inspiration as we continue to serve the persons of this country. These and other mercies we ask through your name. Amen.
Good day again, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister and Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation and Member of Parliament for St. Andrew, West Central, Mrs. Arlene Williams, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Mrs. Judith Rob Walters, Chair of the Project Oversight Committee, Ms. Amika Sewell, who will be giving the vote of thanks on behalf of the beneficiaries, Marash Innovative Construction Limited and other project partners, members of the public, police officers, thank you very much. We are here today at a very important event for the groundbreaking of the village of Tower Hill. It was long coming, Prime Minister, and we are finally here to cut the ribbon and do the groundbreaking. At this moment, I'll ask the Permanent Secretary to bring remarks or an overview on the program.
Thank you so much, Sir Cargill. Your capacity as chair today, but also the director of the Hope, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and your Member of Parliament. I also want to, I know the protocol has been established, but Mrs. Judith Rob Walters is the chair of the Project Oversight Committee. I want to greet you two beneficiaries, residents here, members of the media, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, students. You hold a very special place in my heart. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all. And did I greet the persons from the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation who are here to provide their support, as well as staff from the Office of the Prime Minister. A very, very pleasant good morning to all of you. And so It is my honor to give an overview of the new social housing program, more specifically for the village at Tower Hill housing development. And when I heard the name, I said, yes, this sounds proper. The village at Tower Hill housing development. Today, we are about to effect a contract signing and a commencement of works. So it's not just groundbreaking, it is a commencement of works. And so the new social housing program was conceptualized in 2018 under the Housing Opportunity, Production and Employment HOPE program. It is making significant The program employs 3 modalities, and these are they: provision of single detached housing solutions for persons who either have lands, own lands, or have permission to use these lands. The other modality is the relocation of vulnerable communities where persons are in imminent danger, for example, of flooding. And the third modality, and you'll see it being employed here today, is the upgrading of tenements, which we call the multifamily housing solutions. So you may be curious, what is the status of delivery to date? And so as at June 13, we have achieved a total of about 292 housing units, benefiting over 1,054 individuals across constituencies. And I want to put it to you that this 1,054 individuals is really a very indicative figure, because we do know of the multiplier effect. When we hand over a unit, many persons benefit from that unit. We're talking about neighbors, we're talking about family members who will benefit from the units as well. So at present, there are about 46 active construction projects, and these will be completed in very short order. And about 75 others are at various stages in the procurement process. Now, the Minister of Housing, the Prime Minister, your Member of Parliament in this instance, has said to us, we are to build more houses under this program for those who are most vulnerable, and we are to build them at a faster rate. And so let me tell you a bit as I hurry on to the village at Tower Hill housing development. 13 persons, 5 of whom are children, reside at a multi-housing arrangement at 8 to 10 Tower Avenue. So these persons were living in very deplorable conditions. And I want to stress very. Indeed, the housing structures consist of plywood and pallets that are now rotting and on the verge of collapse. There is just one single bathroom and no proper fencing, exposing the occupants to all sorts of risks. And so all the relevant approvals were sought and given for this construction, including approval by the Project Oversight Committee. And so the ministry, through the new social housing program, will therefore develop lands at lot 99 to 100 Tower Avenue, Kingston 11. And this, as I've said to you before, will be under the upgrade of tenement modality. Again, your Member of Parliament, Prime Minister, has seen your plight, beneficiaries, and has responded as he has done for countless other poor and vulnerable persons across constituencies in this country. So I want you to imagine with me, and Richard, I wanted to see the layout of what it will look like as you usually have it. But I want you to imagine with me, my brothers and sisters, as we visualize what will be here in 6 months' time. And time is going very quickly. So by your look round is December. So what will be here on ground is an aesthetically pleasing, safe and sound 6-unit facility. We'll have 1 3-bedroom, 3 2-bedrooms, and 2 1-bedroom units on approximately 2,450 square feet. The development will have the associated works to include walkways properly laid out, water and sewerage connections. The housing units will be constructed using reinforced concrete with concrete slab roofing, and each unit will have individual electricity meters. The beneficiaries will all have the opportunity to own the units. And I want to repeat that. The beneficiaries will own the units. So at approximately 50 million, the contractor, Marosh Innovative Construction Company Limited, will bring in this project by December 2025. And so I encourage the beneficiaries to take care of the facility when completed, to sign the requisite social contracts, which PM always talks about when we hand over their houses, which outlines the terms of usage, maintenance, and inspection of the units. And I want you to live good with your neighbors. And I just want to say to all the fathers, the good fathers who are here today, the excellent fathers like our Prime Minister who is here today, I want to wish you a very, very happy Father's Day when it comes, because I know there's a little disparity in society where it is felt that the mothers are being given, prominence, and I hear the complaints that they don't see the streets being lined with the baskets. But I want to, on behalf of the ministry, salute all the good fathers who I know are still in society and are playing their role very well. So, ladies and gentlemen, all, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, PS, for that detailed overview of the program and what is to be expected at 99 Tower Avenue. Now we'll get a cultural item from Seaward Primary and Infant School.
Kimberly.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are the Seaward Primary and Infant School Culture Group. Today, we are going to present a cultural item. It's actually a cultural medley.
Sweet, sweet Jamaica. Sweet, sweet Jamaica, nah left ya. Ami yaki, I'm starfish, nah left ya. Ami yam and banana, nah left ya. Nah left ya, nah left ya. Nah left ya, nah left ya. Nah left ya, nah left ya. Sweet, sweet Jamaica, nah left ya. Ami aki, I'm a starfish, nah left ya. I'm a dumpling, ami yam, nah left ya. Nah left ya, nah left ya. Nah left ya. Nah left ya.
You know hear where the old man say. You know fit tie the donkey down there.
Lord God.
You know hear where the old man say. You know fit tie the donkey down there. When the jackass a jump and bray, let him bray, let him bray. When the jackass a jump and bray, let him bray, let him bray. Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe and let him go. Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe and let him go.
The donkey want water.
Hold him Joe,
The donkey want bulla.
hold him Joe,
The donkey want breakfast.
hold him Joe.
The donkey make you feel irate.
Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe and let him go. Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe and let him go.
The donkey want ice cream.
Hold him Joe,
The donkey want ackee.
hold him Joe,
The donkey want blue dress.
hold him Joe.
The donkey make you feel
Irate.
We wanna go where the old man say, and that is the God so wonder way. Donkey a man, he know that way.
Put him on a
Never
cat.
walk straight.
Put him on a
Never
cat.
walk straight.
Put him on a cat.
Never walk straight.
Put him on a cat. My donkey walk, my donkey talk, my donkey eat with a knife and fork. My donkey eat, my donkey sleep, my donkey kick where your two little feet. My donkey my donkey yes, my donkey sit on the engine blush. My donkey yes, my donkey know which month can call. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Finger yeah, yo. Come, Mr. Donkey, come. Finger yeah, yo. Come, Mr. Donkey, come. Finger yeah, yo. Come, Mr. Donkey, come. Finger yeah, yo. Come, Mr. Donkey, come, Mr. Donkey, come, Mr. Donkey, come, Mr. Donkey, come.
For that entertaining cultural item. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I will invite the Prime Minister, the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation, the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew West Central, and also the visionary for this program to make his remarks in the capacity as Prime Minister and Member of Parliament, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. Allow me to acknowledge my permanent secretary, Mrs. Arlene Williams, permanent secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and Judith Rob Walters, chair of the Oversight Committee of the new social housing program. And of course, let me greet the lovely people of the wonderful community of Tower Hill and the general community of Olympic Gardens in the constituency of West Central St. Andrew. Now, this would be my, 27th year in this constituency as your representative. And I have seen the community transform over these many years. I have seen the roads paved and the sidewalks done. But I've also noticed a certain independence and pride of the people of this community. They are always building. There has never been a time that you drive through and you don't see another new building going up. That's just the nature of the people. They're always building. So Tower Hill, in the 20-odd years that I've been here, has changed dramatically. From broken down zinc fences, broken down homes, people are building. And it shows you the ambition of the people, and it shows you the pride of the people. There are still many more homes to be improved, because one of the greatest requests I get in terms of numbers is assistance for building grants. If it is to change some sheeting of zinc on the roofs, replace a door, to add on a bathroom, these are the requests that we get as members of parliament. And we have assisted quite a number. But one of the areas of housing that is of particular concern to me is this concept of the big yard, the tenement yard. And there are a few in this area, and some of the conditions are troubling. There's not proper sanitation in terms of bathroom facilities. You know, some people just have one room here, then another room here, then another room there, and there is just one bathroom that everybody shares. Sometimes you go into some of these houses, these yards, and the children are all over the place. Sometimes you see the sewage running in the yard, and it is really an uncomfortable situation. Really uncomfortable. The people try to make do. They try to live as comfortably as they can, but the truth is they have no resources. Now, I have seen some success stories coming out of some of those big yards, those tenement yards. People getting to university, you know, becoming professionals. So even though the circumstances may not be the best, there are those who, in spite of those circumstances, succeed. But the reality is that those conditions will keep down even some of the most trying and ambitious people. Because you get up one morning, you're in a good frame of mind, and you go wash, and you put your clothes on the line, and then you'd say your next door neighbor, but it's not really next door. It's the room next door you. Their kids get up, they run outside, go play, mess up all of your clothes on the line, big argument start in the yard, before you know it, buckle and stone, somebody get hurt, or somebody get killed. Not to mention, you know, the susu that happens in the yard that leads to the kinds of, you know, the interpersonal conflicts. And I've had to deal with several of those as member of parliament, because, you know, as a member of parliament, your job is not just to deal with the building grant and the school and the roads. Sometimes you're a councillor. Sometimes you play the role of the pastor to just try and keep things quiet, keep people together. The big yard situation is not ideal. The tenement yard is in our history, our culture, as, you know, part of the challenges that we face as a people. And if we want to transform communities, one of the main ways of transforming a community is to transform the living conditions of the people. And the new social housing program is designed to transform the housing conditions of the people. But it works well when you are transforming housing conditions of people who are themselves ambitious. You can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. So a part of what we do is to promote this idea that people should be positive thinking. They should be progressive in their thinking. They should seek a better life. They should be ambitious, because we don't want to give resources to people who are unambitious, people who are not going to value it and take care of it. So what I have done as, you know, the Member of Parliament for this area is to promote and support a positive outlook. And on this idea of the positive outlook is to get the youths, mostly the young men, to put down violence. Every time I speak in this community, I have to remind the community of where you are coming from. When I came here first, there was a massive gang war. I keep saying it all the time because sometimes people forget. Before 6 o'clock, Tower Avenue empty. Olympic Way empty. Empty. Nobody could come out. Gang over there. One gang over there. This man say him is done. That one say him is done. You know, some end up in prison. But I've always been there with them. Get to know them. Talk to them. Try to guide them out of it. I see one here smiling. But I've always been there to give them a positive attitude, to say to them, look, man, come out of that. Some of them came out of it, and they are alive. But I'm sure all of you listening here can remember those who have died. They're not here with us anymore. But the community is now at peace. There is not an hour that I can drive through Tower Island, somebody not trying to stop me. Every corner there is somebody doing something. Whether it's bingo, man just step on the corner, play domino or drink. The place is alive. And I want you to appreciate the difference between living in peace and living in war. And it is up to you to make sure that violence and gangs don't come back into your community. Let me use this opportunity, as I have been doing every time I speak, and I want Jamaica to hear this. Today, as I speak to you, we are 44.3% less murders today than we were last year, this time. The murders have gone down. When I spoke on Sunday, it was 44.1, now it's 44.3. There are many who felt that murders could not go down. But you are having now 3 years of a decline in murders. We have never had 3 successive years of decline in murders. Never. The first year, we had about 7.5% decline. The second year, we had 19% decline. And now Year to date, we are at 44. I want to take this opportunity to appeal to our young men who are involved in gangs and criminal activities. You know, I consider myself a young man. And I have sons. And I want them to do well. I want all our young men to do well, to grow up to be fathers, productive, law-abiding citizens. I don't want you to be killed. So I have to appeal to you, those young men who feel that they can take up a gun and go and commit a crime and we don't know. We will find you. And you will either meet a judge or your maker. I am appealing with all my heart to you. Put down the gun. Put it down. Let me be clear. The government will eliminate and eradicate every single gang in Jamaica. Let me be clear. Every contract killer, we will find you. Everyone who is importing guns into Jamaica, we will find you. I want to be very clear and transparent. Jamaica, when it comes to crime and violence, we are at an inflection point. You know what that means? The inflection point is the point in time when your reward exceeds the effort that you put in. We have been putting in a lot of effort since 2016. We have spent over $90 billion on crime fighting in this country. Over $90 billion. The previous 8 years before our 9 years, between the PNP and the former JLP administration, $28 billion. We have spent 3 times more on national security. Just yesterday, we marked another milestone where we were able to open a new forensic suite. What will that do? That will increase the capability of the security force to find evidence of crime. So you think you commit a crime and you're gone. We now have the technology to find you and identify you. So let me say it again for all the young men listening. Do not get drawn into crime. Let me say it again for all the dons who believe that they are above the law. Let me say it again. Find something else to do. Transition out of crime. Put down the gun. Find something else to do. Now is the time when you must go turn legitimate. Go into some business and come out of crime now. Because the people, they are now getting a taste of what peace feels like. They are not seeing you as protecting the community anymore. They're not seeing you as providing anything anymore. So the social underpinning of crime is removed. You are no longer a hero, you are a criminal. So I am appealing again. Let it not be said that the government did not give fair warning. Anyone contemplating these murders now or contemplating these kinds of crimes, we will find you. Eventually. Or sometimes right away. So, having made that appeal, which I have been making this appeal over and over and over again, for the consideration of the people, these programs are only possible because there is peace in the community. Just last week, I had another groundbreaking for the renewal of another tenement yard, another big yard in central Kingston. The occupants of that yard, their homes were destroyed by arson. When the victim recounted to me the circumstances under which she lost her home, I almost cried. She told me that men came in to her house, kicked off her door, pushed her husband back into the house, and set the place on fire. Obviously with the hope that her husband would have perished in the fire. We couldn't have rebuilt in a state of war. Now, the community is peaceful because of various interventions that we have put in place. And they are going to get 7 new apartments built on the land. Thankfully, the situation here is different. This community of Tower Hill has been peaceful. Yes. And I urge you, all of the youths listening to me, I urge you, maintain the peace. I don't want anybody come crying to me to bury anybody. Unless they're sick. I can only be frank with you. Maintain the peace. All of the little strange face boys you see coming around here, tell them to go back to where they come from. They're not welcome here. One by one. Don't believe I don't know what is going on, you know. Because I know that some of these guys think them smart. Them come and give a peaceful face, but them inviting other people to come and do their deeds. And then those days are gone. But back to social housing. So, in this instant case, this yard accommodated 6 families in really substandard conditions. Now, we're going to, as we have already done, we have demolished the units that were there, and we are going to build a fantastic new development of 6 modern apartments. And it is not just this tenement yard. We have now refined the process, and my objective is to redevelop every single big yard and tenement yard in this area. And indeed, to take this project right across Jamaica. We now have the capability, and we now understand how to do it, and we can do it with greater pace. Do you notice that almost every week I am now handing over a house or breaking ground for the renewal of a tenement yard. Every week. So for those people who are looking on and say, boy, it's only some place. No, man, we're coming to you. The house take time to build, you know. Last week, I handed over a house that took 3 weeks to build. 3 weeks. So we have developed now the capacity to do it quickly. There is still some time that has to be taken in the application process, in the verification process, in the procurement process, and in the contracting process, and in the building process. But we are lessening the time it takes, so we are being much faster in delivering the benefits. So once you are assessed as being qualified for a social housing, it will come your way. What we have done as a government is to build the systems and the capacity to deliver these benefits to you day after day after day. So rest assured that we are coming to your community as well. Now, I'm here today not just as your member of parliament. I'm also the Minister of Housing. That's the substantive portfolio on which I stand today. And the objective of the Minister of Housing is, yes, to provide social housing, that is housing to persons who are in need but cannot afford the housing solution, which is what we are doing now. But my job is to also develop programs to support the private development of housing to make those housing affordable on the open market. Now, I want you to join me on a journey of visioning what your community of Tower Hill could look like. Do you believe that in another year or two, providing the peace holds and the community maintains its stability, that people will want to come into Tower Hill and buy houses in Tower Hill? It is close to Kingston. Well, it is in Kingston. It's close to the urban core of the city. It has a lovely entertainment and nightlife. Public transportation runs there. It has fairly good infrastructure, water and everything. Yes. So if we continue with this development, people who own land in Tower Hill, or in Mall Road, or in Cockburn Pen, those lands will become attractive for development. And that is what happens when we have peace in the communities. All of a sudden, people feel that I can invest in these communities. And so what we have said to the NHT is to develop what we call the Small Developers Program, where if persons own lands in communities like these and they want to develop them, the NHT will work with them, help them with the architectural and engineering, the technical things, help them to get the approvals at the local authorities, and finance them. But more than that, after the houses are built, the NHT will then buy the houses from them, so that these houses will be in the pool of NHT houses that the NHT can then sell back at a reasonable price. Yes. And so what you're going to see is that communities like these, which have been neglected, nobody wants to come there and live, but people who own property here can't get no mortgage on it, nobody wants to invest in the community, all of a sudden, you're going to see your community change. And that is what we are working towards. So you are now existing at a time when all the hard work and effort that your administration has put in, your government has put in, which I have administered, is now bearing fruits. that we are now at a point where crime is going down, we can have peace in our communities, and we now can start to invest in urban communities that have been neglected for years. So, my friends, it gives me great pleasure, therefore, to break ground today at the Tower Hill. What's the name of it? Yes, it's called the Village of Tower Hill. You see how the name nice for the development? The Village of Tower Hill. And the 6 families that will benefit, I'm sure they will be happy. Just as how the 32 families in St. Paul's Lane are very happy with their development. So what I'm talking about here is not new. It's not a dream. It's the reality coming true every single day. We have done it before, and we are doing it here again. We will go to another community next week where we'll do it again and again and again. Right? That is what we call enduring prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, my family in my constituency, love you always. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. I think he deserves another round of applause. We'll now ask Miss Amika Sewell to bring the vote of thanks on behalf of the beneficiaries.
Hi, pleasant good day. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Hi, good day to each and everyone. Thanks for coming out. I just want to say a big thank you to Mr. Andrew Holness. We are grateful for the project they are about to start for us. We really appreciate it. On behalf of 8th Avenue and the whole community, we really, really thank you and appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sewell. At this time, I will ask the Prime Minister, the Permanent Secretary, the beneficiaries, and the contractor to join us in the contract signing for the groundbreaking. Thank you.
baby, the son of my skin.